Y muy buenas gente, sean bienvenidos una vez más al canal y una vez más a Tangle Tower. Ya hemos entrevistado a más miembros de la familia en lo referente al crimen que sucedió en Tangle Tower. Descubrimos un posible quiebre en relaciones de las mismas, un posible triángulo amoroso. Y ahora vamos a excavar más profundo o ascender un poco más, depende de dónde nos lleve esta torre, así que empecemos. Y como recordarán, llegamos a la habitación de, creo que es el padre Pointer. Esperen, esculquémosle la habitación un rato.
You know, I've always wanted one of those.
A mechanical solar system? What would you do with it?
I would look at it.
Wait a minute. Earth in the middle, sun on the outside. How old is this thing?
Giran los 5 planetas, el Sol y la Luna en torno al centro. Ah, ya vi cómo es esto. Este tiene que apuntar hacia acá. Y eso. Y este tiene que apuntar hacia aquí. Eso. Y es así la cosa, pero un momentico. Ah, ya me encontré, ya la encontré. Listo.
Oh, that was it.
Nice work. Did you hear that? Something unlocked.
There's a little hatch underneath? What's in there?
A bunch of paper. Looks like somebody's research.
Escarabajo dorado. Varias notas y diagramas de una investigación. El escarabajo dorado, llamado así por su exoesqueleto compuesto por un mineral idéntico al oro en un 90% aproximadamente, mide varios años. Se defiende de los depredadores con un fuerte silbido. Se han registrado más de 95 decibelios. Y por ser totalmente indigerible. Este misil tiene una reputación un tanto espuria de traer mala suerte a quienes lo ven. Un escarabajo capaz de hacer un chillido ultrasónico. Bueno, ahora que lo pienso, ¿cómo se sentirá esta gente viendo a este par de investigadores esculcándolo en sus cosas? O sea, ninguno se ha quejado, pero ahora ya habría uno que levantaría la mirada, haría como los jumpscares de los juegos de horror. Termina uno el acertijo y lo tiene aquí enfrente, viendo qué está haciendo. Pero no.
A picture frame.
With no picture.
It's tidier than my desk. Oh, the notebook is untouched. It's completely blank.
So? Even the most well-used notebooks start off blank.
Sí, cierto.
It's tidier than my desk. The notebook is
So? Even the most well-used notebooks start off.
Este planetica.
Trinkets.
They're clearly gizmos.
Chismes.
What is it?
It's clearly some kind of large device.
You're not wrong.
Telescopio.
Let's at least introduce ourselves before touching his telescope.
Always a good roll.
Sí, cierto, sí o no, pero antes sigámosle tocándole las cosas.
Pretty.
It's too cloudy to see any stars right now.
It's also daytime.
Pequeñísimo detalle.
It's too cloudy.
It's also daytime.
Ahora sí que tiene que decirnos sujeto que parece que tuviera un tejado en la cabeza.
Shh, listen. Do you hear them? The stars. They're whispering. So quiet, and yet so loud.
What are they whispering about? Are they spreading rumors about us?
I shouldn't think they concern themselves with such insignificance. We are but specks of dust, you and I.
Mm-hmm. Could this speck of dust start by telling me his name?
You find yourself standing in the astronomy tower of one Professor Percival Pointer.
Seems like this tower belongs to the Pointers, and the other one belongs to the Fellows.
Well observed, my dear. Tangle Tower is something of a duality, as it happens. Meaningless boundaries, really. They exist only in our minds.
Helpful.
Bueno, le atiné con lo del pointer y eso que mi memoria sobre nombres es un poco limitada.
Me? Not much to say. Strictly speaking, I'm the current head of the Pointer family. And of course, father to my precious Poppy.
And a professional astronomer?
Oh no, that's just a little hobby. I mean, yes, I've studied the stars for over 35 years, published 17 books.
Just a little hobby.
Sounds like you're quite well known. You must bring in a good amount of money.
Oh dear me, no. My field of research has never yielded any kind of stable financial return, nor would I expect it to. I am nothing but a humble interpreter for the cosmos, working to translate its message so that I may share it with the world.
Cool. Tell the cosmos I say hi.
The day began as any other, with blissful, unremarkable routine. I took my usual morning walk around the gardens. Fresh air does wonders for the mind.
Did you see anyone else?
Penelope and Fitz were in the greenhouse together. I didn't bother them, of course. I sat for a while besides the pond in the garden. It's a favorite spot of mine. Eventually, I returned to my tower and buried myself in my studies for the afternoon.
Did you use your telescope yesterday?
Once the stars began to appear, naturally.
For how long?
I can't say. I've been known to lose hours at my telescope.
Did you see anything?
No actual discoveries, if that's what you mean.
So you were all alone up in the astronomy tower. Must have been a while before you found out what had happened to Freya.
Quite. Normally, I would be the last to find out about such a thing. But a curious tug of fate led me towards the Fellow Tower later that evening.
A ver, ¿qué tiene que decirnos?
I was at my telescope for the majority of the evening, but at one point I returned to my desk to look something up in a reference book. I couldn't find the book I wanted, so I figured Fiona must have borrowed it. I left my tower and headed down towards the Grand Hall. I spotted Detective Hawkshaw coming out of the library. She looked impatient and slightly frustrated.
Same as ever then?
Quite. I passed her by and went upstairs to Fiona's room. The door was locked, but I could hear shouting coming from inside. I recognized Fiona's voice as well as the voice of my own daughter. I had no desire to invade their privacy by eavesdropping, so I waited for them to finish and come out into the hall. Before I could ask about the book, Poppy grabbed my hand and took me upstairs along with Fiona. It was apparent that both of them had already been crying about something. We went up to Flora's tower. Freya was laying on her back, right in the middle of the room. Flora and Fitz were already there. They both looked stoic as ever. Felix and Penny arrived shortly after we did, and then Fiona went downstairs with Poppy for some reason. I quickly decided that I should leave also. I took Penelope with me, and we both went back to our rooms in Pointer Tower.
Why did you leave so quickly? Wasn't there anything you could have done to help?
Don't take this the wrong way, but the whole ordeal is Fellow family business. I'm quite sure they don't need me getting in the way at a time like that.
Pues razón tiene.
Nobody could deny her talent. She was remarkable, artistically gifted, but also highly intelligent.
Those two things aren't mutually exclusive, you know.
Was she ever interested in astronomy?
I don't think she was. The fault may well lie with me for failing to inspire her. But I think she was captivated by more tangible things here on Earth. My daughter loved her. Fiona, too. That said, in the last year or so, more and more I've begun to notice her by herself, wandering the gardens at the most peculiar hours. She must have explored every inch of the grounds 100 times over. Quite a restless spirit, I think. I'm surprised she chose to live at Tangle Tower as long as she did. My Poppy, my pride and joy. Exceptionally talented pianist from a young age. Hold on. Why is she on your list of suspects?
Because she's a suspect.
Oh, no. I can personally vouch for her innocence. She'd never... Well, the truth is, she loved Freya very dearly.
If you don't mind me asking, what happened to Poppy's mother?
Primrose? She was Flora's sister, a Remington by birth. The playing field has never really been even since she left.
Where did she go?
Away. She went away. I don't especially want to talk about myself. Introspection often leads to vanity.
Wait, does it?
Why don't we discuss the moons of Jupiter instead?
I'm not sure if we have time. Aren't there like 10 of them?
83.
Yeah, we don't have time.
Ah, yes, the heiress of Tangle Tower. Goodness knows what'll happen when she takes charge. I dare say she'll confiscate my telescope and replace it with a microscope.
She doesn't seem to be the type to impress her will on others.
Still, keep an eye on her. Dangerously intelligent, that one.
You sound jealous. Wait, are you two science rivals?
Oh no, we operate on very different wavelengths. Literally.
¿Serio?
A listless soul drifting through the ether.
What's wrong with her?
Not sure. She's always been troubled. Comes from a dysfunctional family. I'd say you could ask her about it, but I think you might find that to be a bit of a dead end.
¿Esto fue sarcasmo?
What do you want me to say? He's the gardener.
He's a member of the family.
Yeah, but not the Pointer family.
What happened to his parents, do you know?
His father, Flint, is Felix's brother. Strange man. Don't think anybody knows what happened to him, but he certainly doesn't live here anymore.
What about his mother?
Emily? I've not met her. She never actually married into the Fellow family. Her relationship with Flint was, it was short-lived. Hard to read, that one, but she seems to know what she's doing.
She's kind of mean.
You know, I simply assumed all detectives were sharp, rigorous, and thorough. Then, of course, I met you.
Ay, no hay alguien que no le eche tierra a este tipo.
There's something about Hawkshaw's handheld microscope. Something suspicious.
Let's ask her about it.
A ver qué tiene que decirnos Snape al respecto. No, ya vamos a empezar a tirar sospechas de una. No, espera, interrogo.
Professor Pointer's a respectable astronomer. Keeps himself to himself. What?
We're just surprised.
That was the most polite you've been about anyone.
Considerably intelligent, and her powers of observation are enviable. But she has no ambition, no focus.
In her defense, she's still a teenager.
Barely. Poppy has remarkable musical talent. She could be famous, wealthy even, if she wanted to.
I should probably have to leave Tangle Tower first.
Quite. I'll say this, he's well suited to physical labor.
That's a nice way to put it.
Fitz spends most of his time alone in the greenhouse, but I heard he's been breeding experimental flowers. In secret.
Whoa, scandal.
I just wonder if he's getting restless. The people here are surprisingly materialistic, considering how sheltered they are.
Materialistic?
Growing this fruit simply because it produces a gemstone-like material. For what possible purpose, other than financial gain?
You're speculating.
What would you do, Grimoire, if you could grow valuable stone straight from the earth? This is a potential murder weapon, is it not?
I don't know. I don't think the murderer would leave the murder weapon just lying around.
I think you'd be surprised as to what people leave lying around.
Como un lente.
Some breed of amphibious humanoid, potentially bipedal, although none of the statues show the creature's feet.
I guess we'll never know.
Who's that?
Not sure. It doesn't really look like anyone we've met so far.
Strange. Is that a clue?
Dunno. It was important enough to be framed, though.
I framed my law degree, doesn't make it a clue.
Same? Yeah?
Bueno, ese tipo está graduado.
Do you also have a pile of leaves as a clue?
Oh, not yet. Did you see some suspicious leaves?
One of 3 statues depicting the same creature. This one is wearing headphones. Perhaps they belong to someone who likes music.
They're not headphones. They're earmuffs. For blocking out sound.
Perhaps they belong to someone who doesn't like music. A book from the library. One of hundreds, no doubt. What makes this one special?
It's about birds.
Yes, I see that. A diary. Have you read it?
Not yet. It's locked.
And you haven't attempted to force it open?
That would be cheating.
Where did you find this?
Do you have any theories about where this might have been?
Or who might have had it.
I have several theories, but they are my theories and I'm not going to share them.
Bueno, ya, tirémosle la bomba.
This little microscope thing? You said you used it to search the greenhouse.
And this would make perfect sense, if you knew what my client had asked me to find. Of course, I still have no intention of disclosing that information.
You're such a tease, Hawkshaw. Don't worry, we already worked out what you're searching for.
Oiga, sí, estaría buscando el escarabajo entre todas esas plantas falsas. ¿Qué? ¿Lo va a vender?
You're not as hopeless as you look.
Thanks.
So, that's what you were looking for in the greenhouse? This beetle?
Surely even you can understand the logic of it. The greenhouse is home to a great many insects. The gardener could have easily kept the beetle hidden in there.
Well, Fitz said you questioned him, but didn't actually search the greenhouse.
He's not exactly the type to appreciate subtlety. He simply didn't notice that I was using my microscope.
What do you reckon, Grimoire?
I know for a fact she didn't use the microscope in the greenhouse.
Creo que es un telescopio, un rifle.
It's not a microscope at all.
All of a sudden, Detective Grimoire is some kind of expert on microscopes.
Es parte de una lente telescópica. A ver, ¿qué tenemos? Microscopio, lente, también el aparato, no creo. Bueno, que tendría sentido, usa una lente gris, una lupa. Ahí vea, pues jalarlo así, bueno el dato. A ver, pero usa un lente microscopio. Es parte de, se hecho solo con. Es con lente telescópica, así que ahí. Venga
The
pues.
handheld microscope is a part of a telescopic lens, so Hawkshaw stole it. Nope.
No, ni uno. Una razón para creer que no es un microscopio.
The handheld microscope, according to Hawkshaw, uses a microscopic lens, so Hawkshaw was honest. That's not right.
Nada sobre el lente que es.
The handheld microscope,
No.
according to Fifi, uses a fake glass lens, so Hawkshaw lied about it. Almost. Maybe just change one thing.
No creo que use piedras preciosas.
The handheld microscope,
Ajá.
according to Fifi, uses a telescopic lens, so Hawkshaw lied about it. I'm inclined to believe Fifi when it comes to stuff like this.
Hawkshaw, why did you lie about owning a telescope?
When you were a child, what did you aspire to become?
A detective? Naturally.
Emperor of the Galaxy?
I wanted to be an astronomer.
Really?
I harbored a desire to understand the secrets of the wider universe. A fool's errand, to be sure, but a seductive one. At 15, I decided instead to apply my intelligence to the world around me. And so, I became a detective. But the yearning for elusive knowledge is a powerful force. I tried to keep it with me.
Sorry, but we're way off track. What's the deal with the little telescope?
A memento from my childhood. Little more than a toy.
Why did you bring it with you?
When I discovered that it was Professor Pointer who had hired me, I dared to consider it something of a planetary alignment. I had hoped he might sign my telescope. An extremely childish indulgence, I admit.
I never would have guessed.
Hold on. You're admitting you didn't use it in the greenhouse then?
Correct. As it happens, I have no need to search the greenhouse to such a degree. Professor Pointer doesn't consider the gardener a suspect in our theft investigation.
So, who is your suspect?
Things have become complicated. My lead suspect is your murder victim.
Oh. Ahora que vamos al asunto de un segundo criminal que hizo deshacerse de un primer criminal. Pone interesante la cosa. Venga, ¿quién me falta interrogar? Creo que aquella pareja. Aquí. Félix. El de Freya. Oiga, sí, ¿cómo es? Está investigando un crimen y no ha ido a la habitación de la víctima.
That painting is really something.
Why would you want it looming over your bed like that?
Maybe Freya enjoyed the atmosphere it creates.
The atmosphere of chaos and oppression?
Hang on.
¿Qué?
There's a smaller version down by the floor.
It's a photograph.
Foto de cuadro. Una pequeña fotografía del cuadro abstracto de Freya. Tiene pegados trozos de cinta adhesiva. Han dibujado líneas con tinta negra cerca de los bordes. ¿Sacaba un libro quizás?
It's Freya's bed. A little bit messy.
It's a perfectly healthy amount of messy.
Cierto.
Drawings taped up on the wall.
What's that one on the left?
Looks like two people standing together in a garden. One of them's holding a red rose.
Dibujos de Freya. Un dibujo de Poppy Fitz de pie en el jardín. Fitz sostiene una rosa roja. Un dibujo de Fifi. Dibujo de la detective Hawkshaw. El dibujo de Poppy Fitz lo hicieron en el jardín de la azotea. Ah, interesante que haga anotaciones al respecto. ¿Y qué es esta lupita? Ah, puedo ver esas cosas. ¿No puedo picarle estas cosas? Creo que no. Me acabo de enterar hasta ahora.
It's a little wooden box for paintbrushes.
To the casual observer, maybe. They're not real paintbrushes. Looks like they're part of some kind of lock mechanism.
Cambia los pinceles en el orden correcto. Den el papel para obtener una pista. Uy, de haber sabio que voy a empezar a jugar Tangram. O así lo conozco yo aquí. Hubiera puesto más atención a las clases de razonamiento abstracto. A ver, esta parece que encaja aquí, sí. Oiga, para hacer papel suena un poco orgánico, ¿no? Como si estuviera moviendo láminas o cortes de carne. O papel húmedo. A ver. Este amarillo iría con este amarillo, pero necesitaría otra cosa amarilla. Esto. Aquí usted va aquí. Usted va aquí. Y tú. Quizás sea como la otra acertijo y me toque ponerlos en cierto orden para que tengan sentido. Y esto, esto iría aquí. Esperen tantico, ya los ubico porque estoy quedando sin espacio aquí. A ver, esto ahí, esto aquí, esto aquí. Y ahora tengo que quitarlos porque acabo de dejar enterrado una. Aquí está. Ya vi. Y lo peor es que esta es su parte del acertijo. Solo es para encontrar una pista. Aquí, eso ahí. Me quedo aquí, esto va aquí. Uy, qué precisión la mía. A ver, verde, azul. El más ancho y más bajo, que sería este, no. Este iría aquí. Y algo que parece como naranja. No, quizás sea este el que vaya aquí. Azul iría aquí. Iría aquí. Verde aquí, naranja aquí. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Es como una mezcla de amarillo y...
Nothing.
Ya,
Did you find a hint on those scraps of paper? It looks like a ripped up jigsaw puzzle.
del medio al más alto. A ver. Pero tendría que estar a la misma altura, verde y azul, pero... más largo y más bajo. La verdad que no entiendes esta. Es como un naranja amarillo a rojo. Y este es como un claro fucsia. Quizás. Ya. Punto más alto y más bajo, pero aquí son estos dos. Un punto verde. Más alto, más bajo, más alto. Yo cepillo, tan. Ah, el mango. Ah, el mango, ya lo vi. Cuánta observación, socio. Tercero tiene que ir mango rojo. Que es el mango naranja aquí, pero a su vez que ser más corto. Ya tiene que llegar hasta esa altura, cosa que no hace el otro. A menos que sea así, verde, no, pero es el azul.
That was incorrect.
Each brush has various characteristics: height, bristle shape, paint color, handle color. The information we need is on the paper, once it's been rearranged, I mean.
¿Será eso? No, porque el papel ahí está dispuesto, pero también varía en la coloración que presenta, o sea, como si este fuera más viejo. Creo que lo miro, este es más alto, pero es... No, porque el más bajo también, pero el más naranja. Menos que es el orden de tamaño, los más cortos a los más largos. Quería el más corto, quería el más largo. El tercero y el quinto son esos, se supondría. Y el primero y el tercero tienen cerdas de ese color. Segundo y cuarto son azul y verde. Desde que no, pero así como está bien puesto, no. Está bien puesto. Si obedece un patrón específico, no. No, es que no iría el azul. En el cuarto iría el azul. En el quinto iría este, pero aquí podría haber este porque este iría aquí.
Still locked.
Yeah.
So, the paper jigsaw. There's a couple of brushes with each characteristic, but only one perfect solution.
Sí, el tercero es. Tercero y el quinto, bien así. Diría así. Pero este no puede ir aquí porque de cerdas así. Dará su bendito un azul aquí. Bueno, ¿será que lo necesito ahí? Porque este también. El tercero es verde y cumple los dos requisitos. Lo cubriría este de aquí. Y la otra es que podría ser ese o podría ser este. Este es azul. Verde y verde.
That's done it.
¡Eso era! Bueno, si cumple los requisitos.
Neat. What was in the box?
Just a photograph. Well, most of a photograph.
Okay. Ajá, la parte que nos falta. Foto rasgada. La fotografía de dos chicas jóvenes. Una con el pelo rojo y la otra con el pelo verde. La foto le falta un buen trozo. Parece que la han rasgado. Pues vaya coincidencia. Me parece que es Fifi, esta que es Freya. Y la de aquí, no sé quién sea. ¿Qué? ¿No puedo unir las piezas? Porque es obviamente esta. Eso, Fifi Freya.
A pillow with a paw print pattern.
It's a cushion.
Yeah, but that doesn't alliterate. It's a little glass box.
I think it's a vivarium.
Come again?
See the leaves and twigs in there? Might have been for keeping insects.
Y vaya coincidencia que estamos buscando un insecto en particular que está aquí.
Just little trinkets.
Let's leave them alone.
That's weird.
What did you find in the drawers?
Nothing. They're completely empty. Brushes, pencils.
They're clean, but they look pretty well used.
Even though we're halfway up a tower, Someone's been tracking in mud from outside.
Tierra de un jardín superior, quizás.
Freya's plants. They must not need sunlight?
Rapazoños.
Just little trinkets.
Let's leave them alone.
Not the kind of lamp I choose for my bedroom, but fair enough.
It's cool. Looks like old mining equipment or something.
It's a fish, I think?
I think it looks more like a whale.
Fine, it's a whale.
Could also be a shark.
Podría ser un pez dorado. Podría ser un 100 pies. Todo es válido en las ramificaciones del arte. Bueno. Cada pista que hemos estado resolviendo nos está llevando al mismo enfoque. Hay un insecto dorado perdido. Mandaron a un detective a buscarlo. Y ahora nos damos cuenta que Freya al parecer pudiera haber cuidado dicho insecto. Bueno, igual tenemos un par de inquilinos que no hemos interrogado, así que... se ve triste. Venga, les cuelgo la habitación un rato.
Puffer fish?
Yes. It's also a lamp, for some reason. Nice. A real treasure chest.
How do you know there's treasure in there?
Why else would it be locked? Plus, there's a treasure map hanging directly above it.
No.
What's the deal with that painting on the front?
Not sure. We should check that treasure map too.
Usa el mapa del tesoro para descubrir la combinación del candado del cofre. Ah, dos partes. Por cambiar esto. Ya vi dragón. Isla Roca. ¿Dónde hay un dragón Isla Roca? Aquí. 4i. Creo que norte, ¿no?
Nothing.
Did you check the treasure map for clues? And what about that painting on the chest itself?
Por eso yo lo encontré. Dragón, isla, roca. Dragón, isla, roca. Aquí. 4i. La cosa es esto de acá. Aunque esperen un momento. Descartemos el resto. Pájaro. Oleaje. Aquí. No, esto no, porque deberían ver los pájaros. Man, de hecho se ven unos pájaros. Que es al norte. O quizás viendo hacia allá. Si me paro aquí. Veo el dragón, veo la isla, veo esto. 6H oeste.
There we go.
Ajá.
Perfect. What was in the box?
More wooden models. These are a little different to the one on the desk.
Maquetas pintadas. Una maqueta se parece a un niño con el pelo verde. Una maqueta que se asemeja a una mujer con canas. Una maqueta que se parece a un pájaro rojo y blanco. Una maqueta que se asemeja a un varón de anchos hombros. Las maquetas de madera han sido pintadas a mano y la pintura se ha aplicado con poca destreza. Cerca hay un tarro de pintura roja y un pincel. El pincel tiene un poco de pintura roja seca. Pintura roja.
A little hand-painted statue.
How can you tell it's hand-painted?
Well, the paints are right there on the desk. Also, I mean, no offense, but you can just tell.
Poquitico. Maqueta pintada. Una talla de madera de un hombre sosteniendo una espada. La maqueta está pintada a mano, pero con poca destreza. Cerca se encontraron pinturas de color amarillo, azul, negro y blanco.
The entire room is made of wood.
Oh, it's not just made of wood. I think it's the actual hull of a ship. What is it?
He's an imp.
What does he do?
Well, if you tell too many lies, he appears at the end of your bed in the middle of the night.
Oh.
Oh, mala cosa.
That's a massive conch shell. Do you think there's a little crab living inside?
I hope so.
Yo no. Ya lleva tanto tiempo de colgada, probablemente ese pobre cangrejito ya esté seco.
A hammock. It's kind of worn out.
I would politely describe it as lived in.
It's a magic lamp. Can we summon the genie?
If we get really stuck, sure.
Para resolver este caso con magia. Uy, la máscara.
An old wooden mask.
Probably cursed.
Sí. Allí invocará el espíritu de Jim Carrey.
Shelf junk. The entire room is made of wood.
Oh, it's not just made of wood. I think it's the actual hull of a ship.
It's a drinking horn.
Is it full of ale? Or mead, maybe?
Right now, it's just full of dust.
Oh.
Ah. ¿Este es un planeta?
It's Earth.
Sí.
If Earth was made of paper and gave off a gentle pink light.
More maps?
No, they're just blank.
Oh.
Bueno, ya acaba de manosearle todo lo que tenía en la habitación. Véngale.
Sir? Can you hear me? I'm Private Detective Grimoire. I have some questions for you.
Grimoire. Good mysterious name. I'd rather like it. Felix Fellow at your beck and call.
And, this is my colleague, Sally.
Yeah, that's a perfectly good name as well.
Thanks.
If you would, Mr. Fellow, we really need to ask you about the murder.
Well, I must say I'm rather jealous of you two.
Oh, yeah? Why's that?
Out here solving mysteries, exploring new places, uncovering secret rooms, hidden treasures. That's what life is all about.
Secret rooms?
Generally speaking, you know, that sort of thing.
Un viejo pirata.
So, Felix, what exactly do you, do? Is it not obvious? I'm an explorer. Explorer/treasure hunter. Yes, well, best in the world.
We're talking like curse statues, spike pits.
It's a little more sophisticated than that. But I've certainly seen my share of danger, if that's what you're asking.
And, if I may ask, when did you retire?
You listen here. I may be between ventures right now, but it's simply not in my nature to stay in one place for too long. I go wherever the winds of destiny take me.
Don't you live here with your wife and daughter?
Yes, well, the Fellow family has certain loyalties, and with Flora the way she is...
Nothing wrong with raising a family, Mr. Fellow.
Don't misunderstand me. Fiona and Flora are my entire world. They are the greatest treasure of all.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Why on earth would you want to know about that?
The murder of Freya Fellow. The reason we're here?
Ah, right. Nasty business. Very unfortunate. I regret that I can't be of any help, but I wish you all the best in your investigation.
Hear that, Grimoire? We're done here. Let's go.
It's a simple question, Felix. I'm sure you're up to it.
Well, there's not much to tell. Mostly, I was in my room by myself, working on Flora's, working on a project.
Your room is quite close to Flora's tower. You didn't hear anything unusual?
What qualifies as unusual?
What have you got?
A ver, su versión de los hechos.
It was dusk. A feeling lingered in the air. Malevolent, perhaps. Uncertain, as life itself.
Abridged version, please.
Right, fine. I heard someone heading down the stairs, just outside my room. The footsteps were calm, orderly, so I thought nothing of it. Shortly afterward, I heard a second set of footsteps, going the same way. This time I could tell just from the sound that something was wrong. So I looked out into the hallway. I got a glimpse of Poppy disappearing down the staircase to the floor below. Didn't know what to make of it, to be honest. I thought perhaps she'd had a disagreement with Fitz, as I know those two are close. So I looked into his room, just in case, but it was empty, as was the garden beyond his window. Back in the hallway, I bumped into a very concerned-looking Penelope. She was heading up Fellow Tower to find Professor Pointer, so I escorted her. We went into Flora's room. Poor Freya was laying on the floor. Fiona, Poppy, Fitz, and Pointer were there already. Flora, too, of course. Soon enough, everyone else made their excuses and left.
Including you?
Not I. I stayed. Flora needed me. Uncommonly skilled as an artist, but Freya was so much more than her talent. She helped me get started with my own painting, you know. It taught me what she knew about wood carving, too. Tremendous patience. She was ever so good with dear Flora.
Freya and Flora were close?
Oh, yes, especially recently.
How are you related to Freya?
Somewhat distantly, as it happens. My father, Lord Fellow, was her grandfather. Technically, that makes her a fellow. Let's just say there was some discussion over whether she ought to carry the name at all. There's a family tree in the Grand Hall. You should take a look at it.
What about her inheritance?
Freya's parents died when she was around 3 years old. She came to live here shortly afterwards.
Nobody left her a thing?
I'm afraid not. She had no formal claim over anything at Tangle Tower. Dearest Flora, a remarkable woman. Yes, been married over 20 years now.
You two still get on?
Of course. What a question.
She hasn't gone quiet on you.
It's true she has an independent streak. She's had it her whole life. She's the youngest of 3. Always something of a lone wolf, you know? Just the way she is.
Lone wolf is putting it lightly. She doesn't seem to want to talk to anyone.
She just likes time to herself, away from the company of other humans.
Other humans?
Other people, you know. My daughter Fiona, our little burgeoning genius. You've met her?
We did. She's going by Fifi these days.
So I've heard. I asked her some weeks ago. What's wrong with your real name? She told me, get this, she wanted a name with an even number of syllables. She makes up the strangest things when she's under pressure.
What makes you think she made that up?
I happen to know the real reason she prefers Fifi over Fiona.
Oh, yeah?
It's what Freya called her. You're the one currently basking in his presence. You tell me.
Let's move on.
Percival Pointer. Good old... So, what do you reckon? Is he the murderer?
I don't know, maybe. We still need...
That is not information we're willing to share at this time.
I'm just saying, keep an eye on him. Holds on to a lot of bitterness, does old Pointer. Just because he's always struggled to support his family. Slightly pathetic, really.
And how long have you known him?
Over 35 years.
Childhood friends? Rivals?
Don't know if I'd do him the honor of considering him my rival.
Fricciones familiares. Que ya podemos dejar atrás el asunto. O quizás no, los hijos son los que se llevan bien, los padres los que no.
Poppy's a good friend to my daughter. Always has been. I think they get on well because they're so... different.
Different like how?
Poppy is... she's quite introspective. Good with feelings. Fiona... not so much. Still, Poppy always seems to be sulking about something.
The heavy, heavy price of emotional intelligence.
Fitz? I don't trust him. He's slippery. Never commits to anything. Brain like an onion.
An onion?
Did you two have an argument?
No, but my daughter doesn't like him at all. And I trust Fiona's judgment entirely. She's a very vigilant young woman.
Detective.
Quite the character, eh? A fellow member of the Order of the Crimson Cloak.
Is that a real thing?
No, I just meant because we both wear, you know, red capes of a sort.
Has she questioned you yet?
If you call that questioning, she seemed bored by everything I had to say. I heard on the grapevine, supposedly Hawkshaw is searching for some rare item, something called the Golden Beetle. Honestly, it's probably a bunch of sensationalist rubbish.
You reckon?
Quite sure. There is no treasure called the Golden Beetle.
How do you know?
Because I would have heard of it. I've been carving for a couple of years now. I was hopeless when I started, but it didn't take me long to master it, as you can see.
Do you paint them yourself too?
I do indeed. Freya kindly taught me the basics. Nowadays, I can make just about anything I can imagine. Of course, this particular model is a self-portrait based on hard fact.
Hard fact, huh? So, you own a sword, Felix?
Of course. I own a great many. But my weapons are stored well away from Tangle Tower. Safety first and all that. Ah, you found it. What do you think, huh? I had to rush the final touches a little bit. It turned out all right, though.
What's it supposed to be?
It's Flora, of course, surrounded by all her favorite people.
¿Quiénes son?
Freya was quite the talent. She had a way of capturing the spirits of her subjects. Not in an evil way, in a good way. That's one of Freya's paintings, is it not? It's impressive, but a little miserable for my tastes. My daughter Fiona and her best friend. They grow up so fast.
Do you know why it's ripped like that?
Ah, yes. I didn't even notice. No idea. What's this all about? Some kind of rare jewel?
I'm pretty sure the research is about a real insect.
If it's made of gold, then it's made of gold. Why would someone lock up a book like that?
We think it's a secret diary.
Aha! Teenagers are funny, aren't they? Where did you find that?
It was in the library.
Really? How odd.
Serio.
The statue was up in the rooftop garden.
Yes, it's been there a while. You can see the brass is slightly tarnished by the elements. But it's not too bad. Might be salvageable. Is that a clue? Really?
It might be.
I've never been one for music. Why not ask Poppy instead?
Ya voy.
Oh dear.
Do you know who this is?
Not a clue.
¿Quién sabe?
Now this is still in very good condition. Apart from the crack, of course.
What about those shards on the inside of the horn?
Looks like somebody broke a glass and was trying to conceal the evidence. Cunning.
Evidencia de que es una ruptura de una copa.
I've never seen that before. Looks valuable. That looks like it might belong to Fitz. Why don't you ask Fiona about that one? Looks like her area of expertise.
Does Florin normally keep something in here?
She must do, but I admit I've never managed to work out what.
Why not just ask her?
I feel like if somebody keeps something locked away in a ceramic egg, it's because they don't want to be asked about it.
Rules to live by.
Digo, no.
That looks like it might belong to Poppy. Flora's quite fond of that old thing. It's in poor shape, though.
Do you know what happened to it?
Can't say I do. It's unlike her to leave paint on the brush.
I think we'll give her a pass, given the circumstances.
Ah, yes, so we shall. It would have been a beautiful painting. It's rather a shame Freya was unable to finish it.
Nothing about it seems strange to you.
Well, all these modern paintings are slightly strange, aren't they? The emotion of the piece taking over from, say, anatomical accuracy.
What about the knife in Flora's hand?
A knife? That's what you see?
You don't?
Well, as I was saying, Freya's artistic approach distorts certain shapes. Hard to say exactly what we're looking at. I'm as confused as you are. That looks like it might belong to Poppy. Rather ugly, isn't it, as far as statues go? Years of wind and rain have not been kind to it either.
Do you know what it is? The creature, I mean.
It's connected to the Remington family history in some way, but I can't recall.
¿Tendrá la familia Remington relación con Cthulhu? Aunque ya ha habido muchas criaturas del mar y siempre se relaciona a familias de alta alcurnia o investigaciones así muy diversas con las criaturas de lo profundo. Pero si lo fuera, sería una versión bastante tierna, caricaturesca, si fuera a tratarse de una historia de ese tipo.
What's this?
It's my case file. It's how I know what I'm supposed to be doing.
You mean to say you're bound by the limits of what's written in this little document? Sounds dreadful.
I find it comforting.
Charming, isn't it? Yes. Built by the Remington family originally. Dear Flora's father and his Associates.
But now it's owned by you? By the Fellow family?
The Fellows and the Pointers have both come to claim a certain degree of ownership.
And who named it Tangle Tower?
Flora chose the name.
What does it mean?
I think it was her intention that it mean nothing at all. Something of a fresh start.
From what?
This really isn't for me to say, but she had some kind of disagreement with her siblings. After they moved away, Flora changed the name of the house. I think perhaps she hoped it would make them feel unwelcome, is less likely to come back.
That's kind of extreme.
Yes, it is rather, isn't it?
There's something about the image of Flora in the painting. Something suspicious.
Let's ask her about it.
De una vez me falta una habitación por explorar. Dos, de hecho. Quizás tres. Pero... ya que podríamos extender un poco el drama y dejarlo para la próxima ocasión. Y eso haremos. No nos falta interrogar a alguien más. Y no quiero que este momento se adelante las cosas. Espero que no. Así que... vámonos. Bueno, que se viene, ¿no? Más momentos de interrogación. Ya lanzamos nuestro primer dardo, aunque no fue acusatorio en sí sobre el crimen, más bien sobre un aspecto personal, el que arrojamos hacia la detective Hawkshaw. Pero creo que ahora en adelante se vienen, ¿no?, más acusaciones un poco más personales, ya que vimos ciertas fricciones por parte de las familias, un poco de avaricia y quizás algo de un pasado molesto. Pero bueno, por ahora diré que muchas gracias por acompañarme. Ya saben que si quieren seguirme apoyando, pueden darle like, suscribirse, compartir, ser pendiente de las publicaciones que haga, y nos vemos en la próxima.